Hey everyone, so I was playing around with duct routing preferences today, and I wanted to show you something that I was fiddling around with. I hadn't messed around with this in a while, so I wanted to show you what I was coming up with in terms of getting beveled taps to show up the way you want every time. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start drawing some duct, and I'm going to draw draw a bigger duct main. All right, just going to draw a bit here. And I'm going to cap that end. And so here I've got some duct and I want to draw some taps off of it. So I'm going to choose uh, taps with turning chains, bevel tap. Yeah, that's fine actually. So I'm going to do just a 12 by 12 ducts and I'm going to do that there. Now that was actually correct, which is good. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to draw that tap again. Because let's say, my air handler or whatever, my terminal unit is over here. So air, this is a supply system. So air is flowing in this direction. And then I'm going to draw this again. And that one, this bevel is going in the wrong direction, right? And this has caused endless frustration for Revit modelers throughout the ages. And I just wanted to just kind of go over what I know about how to model ductwork such that you get bevels to go in the direction you want without spending your entire life clicking around and turning them around the direction you want them to go. Okay, so I'm gonna Control Z that. And we're going to make extensive use of the system inspector tool to see what's going on here. And I recommend that you spend some time playing around with this to see what's going on. So right now I hit inspect and it's saying that the airflow is going that way, which is interesting. So I'm going to finish and I'm going to draw my tap. 12, and it's miter turning vanes bevel tap. That's fine. So I draw here. That's going in the direction I want. But I think that was kind of accidental. Let's hit system inspector again. Oops, let's hit system inspector again. And so now we see that we've got airflow going this way, which is actually the way we want it, but we're not seeing any airflow here. And the reason we're not is because we've now got two open system and two open ends to the system. And Revit doesn't really know what to do with that. Okay, so let's see what happens when we draw another bit of duct here. Now it's going in this direction. And again, with the system inspector, yeah, now Revit's really confused. Airflow is going this way. It's going that way. We don't know what's happening in here, right? So Revit is confused about which direction the airflow is going, and it's no small wonder because this system is not easy for a computer to figure out what's supposed to be going on here. Okay, so let's add. I'm going to add an air terminal, and I'm just going to plop it on the end here, just to keep things nice and simple. Make sure we've got some air going through there. Yeah, we've got some 200 CFM. So if you notice, we've got 200 CFM here and 200 CFM here. And if we go back to our system inspector, you're noticing a pattern of what I'm doing here. So now this is going correctly, right? We've got our airflow coming from the left. It's going through this branch. It's going through this branch. And there's not actually any flow over here, and Revit knows that. So you can see it says 0 flow there, 200 CFM there, and 400 CFM there. So, okay, so Revit now knows where the airflows are going. And so I predict that the next branch I place, Revit is going to place the boot direction correctly. So let me test that hypothesis. It did it correctly. Let's look at the system inspector again. So it placed it correctly, but notice now it's again confused. It doesn't know what's going on here. And so I actually predict that if I place another tap here, I'm not sure actually. I'm not confident that it's going to do it correctly or incorrectly. Revit's just going to guess. So that's incorrect, right? And again, I think that's because what we did is we introduced another open end here. So let's delete that. Let's add an air terminal here. So now we've got flow properly going through this. And let's do a tap again. Remember, we just did this and Revit guessed incorrectly. Now it guessed correctly. That's because all the flows were accounted for. There's only one open system. So I'm going to put another air terminal in. I think Revit's going to guess correctly again. I missed. It did. Okay, now I guess, but not with low confidence, I'm not putting an air terminal on, that Revit is going to guess incorrectly. But it might do it right. No, I did it incorrectly. Okay. Again, I think it's going to do it incorrectly. Yeah, that's not what I want. Okay. And that's because I kept adding taps to it. I kept increasing the number of open ends in the system, and Revit can't figure out what to do with that. So that's a big clue on how we can approach modeling bevel tap systems in a way that Revit will do what we want it to. Now you might be saying, okay, that's fine, but what you're saying is that I have to have the air terminals connected when I'm modeling, and I don't really want to have to do that. So what's a workflow for that? Well, another workflow is that just model the system however you want. You know, maybe your workflow is you like to put in all of these. You know, you're trying to figure this out. You're not trying to worry about air terminals, whatever. So you're doing all this stuff, and all the bevels are in wrong. But let's just ignore that for now. Okay, I missed. So we're going here, blah blah blah, all wrong. Okay, so now you're done with this, you're happy with this, and are you ready to get your air terminals on there? So again, this is not how you would model a system necessarily. I'm just plopping them in here for efficiency of time's sake. Okay, so now we've got all our air terminals connected. Airflow should be flowing correctly through this whole system. Let's just demonstrate that Revit knows what's up. Yes, this is all flowing correctly. Okay. But this is a jumble. All these bevel taps are a mess, and I don't want to go through and click every single one. So what am I going to do about it? Well, what I'm going to do about it is I'm going to delete. I'm going to leave. Actually, let's see. Let's see. I think I can either delete all of them or just one of them, but let's see. So I'm going to select the main now, and I'm going to select the multi-trim tool, which I have set to shortcut TT. I'm going to select that guy, select all these. All correct. All correct. Boom, done. So there's two methods here that I'm thinking. One method is just always be connecting it and never let any more than one end of the duct system be open. The other is don't worry about it. Just go through and do what you're going to do, and then at the end use multi-trim to get them all connected up. So that's just what I came up with for today. It's been a while since I've played around with bevel taps, but I was just messing around with it for the RevX template, trying to get it all nice and buttoned up. So that's my little video for the day. All right, cheers.